Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen arriving in Beijing this morning for a multi-day visit aimed at improving U.S.-China relations. This trip comes days after China restricted exports on two widely used rare metals, germanium and gallium. And now a former top Chinese trade advisor is warning more restrictions may come. Here's what that official said, quote, "This is just the beginning of China's countermeasures. If the high-tech restrictions on China become tougher in the future, China's countermeasures will also escalate." Joining me now is Montana Congressman and member of the House Veterans Affairs and Natural Resources Committees, Matt Rosendale. Congressman, good morning. Janet Yellen has just landed in Beijing, but this is the Chinese are stepping up their at least economic attacks on the U.S. by these new restrictions on these metals. And there is concern that rare earth could be the next shoe to drop, if you will, from China. Are you concerned?
I'm very concerned. We've been discussing these very issues in the Natural Resource Committee, Cheryl, for the last almost 3 years. And unfortunately, my colleagues on the other side of the aisle refuse to understand that we need to produce our own minerals right here in the United States. But I'm also concerned with Secretary Yellen going over to China to see exactly what's going to come out of this. Right now, Chinese are holding somewhere in the neighborhood, I'm sure you're aware, about $1.2 trillion of the U.S. debt. And they've been trying to divest themselves of our debt since about 2011. And I'm wondering, why are they trying to do that? And what is she going to do to try and ease that as well? Is she going to try and make it easier for China to pick up more of our debt? The trade imbalance, as you know, we're at about a 5-to-1 ratio with China right now. We purchase over $500 billion a year of products from them, and they're purchasing just about $150 billion a year from the United States. They want to be the dominant power in the world, the global dominant power. You begin that with economic dominance, and you spread that into military dominance. And I'm concerned that she's going to do nothing but to help them advance this goal.
Yeah, well, again, all we've heard from so far from Treasury is it's about communications, if you will. Francis New-Stacy is on set with me. She's got a question for you, Congressman. Francis, go ahead.
Yeah, what do you think that the answer is to de-dollarization? What do you think the policy, what's the right policy to put in place to prevent further de-dollarization?
The first thing we have to do is watch our own spending, Francis. I think that we've been talking about this for quite some time now. And when we're talking about generating another $4 trillion probably in national debt between now and when Biden actually leaves office, hopefully in January of 25, we are helping China to devalue the dollar. We are helping China to gain power militarily and economically across the globe. So many of us have been working to rein in our spending over the last several years, and there's just not enough people in Congress that understand that undermines our national security.
It certainly does. I want to move on to another big story, and this has to do with social media and the Justice Department. They are now appealing this federal judge's ruling that blocked the Biden administration officials from contacting social media companies like Facebook and Twitter, Google, and telling them what to censor. So White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, she commented on the ruling yesterday. I want you to watch what she said and comment on the other side.
If you're asking me if we agree or disagree, we certainly disagree with this decision. We've been very kind of consistent. We are going to continue to promote responsible actions to protect public health, safety, and security. Our view remains that social media platforms have a critical responsibility to take action or to take account of the effects of their platforms are having to the American people.
Congressman, your thoughts on her response to questions from reporters about this?
It's horrifying, Cheryl. This is Soviet-style tactics for the federal government to be discussing how they want to be able to control information that is being printed or delivered to the American people. This is our First Amendment right. I think the judge had it absolutely correct yesterday to stop communications from the Biden administration and the social media platforms. And we are a free society. And what is amazing is that now so many of the pieces of information that people had been trying to share with others, turns out they were 100% accurate when we were going through this whole pandemic. And again, we do not throw away or disregard the Constitution just because there's an emergency in this country. And I am glad that the judge struck down the Biden administration's desire to stop information from being shared around this country.
And to be clear, if you look at the case and you look at the messages that were being sent back and forth, I mean, we're talking conversations twice a week between the White House and between these companies. And it was effectively bullying if you read those messages. And the White House made it very clear, we are in charge. And there was a lot of pressure coming from those Biden officials. And that was certainly, those messages were cited in the judge's ruling, if you will. I've got a colleague on here. Mike's got a question for you. Mike, go ahead.
So what is then the plan? How are you going to take a look at this issue? In other words, how are you going to push back and say, okay, let's see, the judges said that this is an attack on free speech, that you can't have this type of relationship with the supposedly, free speech platforms. So what are you going to do? What's your strategy to try to rein in these types of conversations?
Thank you, Mike, and that's a good question. This is exactly why the weaponization of government subcommittee or special committee was formed during this Congress, so that we can find out exactly what branches of government were applying this type of pressure on these platforms, and how it was changing the information that was actually being disseminated by them. And so we have a long list of whistleblowers that have been coming out and talking about this. We still have deep-seated problems within the Department of Justice, which are the folks that have to charge and prosecute. But I think it is very interesting that the judge's ruling specified that the FBI, that the Health and Human Services Department, that Secretary Mayorkas, they specifically stated them and said they shall not be able to have these communications with the Biden administration unless it pertains to criminal activity or national security. So there are people that are watching now, and the whistleblowers have done this country a great service to expose the basically crime and corruption that's been taking place within this administration. And so we are all responsible for helping to preserve our right of free speech.
Congressman Matt Rosendale. Congressman, thank you for joining us this morning. It's always good to talk to you.
Thanks, Cheryl.